You imagine yourself at the pharmacy counter, the tiny blue pill sitting in its glossy packaging. For years, it's been marketed as the ultimate solution to your worries in the bedroom. Pop it in, wait a bit, and suddenly everything is supposed to work like it did in your 20s. But here's the uncomfortable truth. The blue pill is more of a patch than a cure. It forces an artificial reaction, like flipping a switch, without actually addressing the reasons your body isn't performing the way it once did. And when the effect wears off, you're right back where you started, sometimes with an even heavier dose of frustration. The numbers are striking. Millions of men over 50 rely on pharmaceuticals for intimacy, but many also deal with headaches, flushed skin, blurred vision, or even heart complications as side effects. That's not exactly the kind of confidence you want in the bedroom. You're searching for strength, not a new list of problems. And if we're honest, depending on a little pill every time dosing to feel empowering, it feels like giving away control over your own manhood. There's also the psychological trap. Some men start to believe they can't perform without it, which slowly chips away at self-belief. Imagine going on a weekend trip, forgetting to pack the pills, and suddenly feeling like intimacy isn't even an option. That dependency is not only inconvenient, but can also quietly rob you of your natural confidence. You deserve more than that. You deserve a body that responds because it's healthy, not because it's been chemically nudged. Here's where the story begins to shift. What if there was another path? One that didn't involve synthetic shortcuts, but instead tapped into centuries of knowledge, natural plants, and daily rituals. Herbal teas, often dismissed as too simple, hold compounds that actually improve circulation, boost testosterone, and nourish your cardiovascular system, the real roots of a strong erection. Instead of forcing your body to perform for a few hours, they work with your body to rebuild strength from within. Before we begin, if you find this information useful for your strength and confidence after 50, I would be very grateful if you would like to like and subscribe. Your support is the motivation for me to continue bringing you useful lessons to stay strong. So yes, the blue pill might look like a shortcut, but you and I both know shortcuts rarely lead to long-term satisfaction. The real win lies in taking back control, one cup at a time. And that's exactly where we're headed next. So, if the blue pill isn't the full answer, the next question is, why does erectile dysfunction even become such a common visitor after age 50? The truth is, your body is going through changes that aren't always visible, but they are powerful enough to affect every part of your daily life, including intimacy. One of the biggest culprits is blood flow. Erections depend on smooth, healthy circulation, and over the years, your arteries can stiffen like old garden hoses. Plaque buildup, high cholesterol, and blood pressure issues all narrow the pathways, making it harder for blood to reach where it needs to go. If your heart struggles to pump efficiently, your bedroom performance takes the hit first. It's like the body's early warning system saying, "Pay attention." Then there's testosterone. Around your late 40s, levels begin to dip, and by your 50s and 60s, the drop can feel like a landslide. This hormone isn't just about desire. It's about muscle mass, mood, energy, and yes, the ability to maintain erections. Some men even describe it as losing their spark, and while hormone replacement is one option, many hesitate because of cost, risks, and the idea of being on medication for life. Add and stress the invisible enemy. By 50, you've likely carried decades of responsibility, family challenges, financial worries, maybe even health scares. Stress raises cortisol, which fights against testosterone. It's like having two opposing teams inside your body, and sadly, the wrong side often wins. On top of that, modern lifestyle habits, late night screens, processed foods, too much sitting make things worse. And yes, the belly fat that sneaks up over the years isn't just cosmetic. It actively lowers testosterone while increasing estrogen. Imagine that, your body starts tilting toward hormones it never needed more of. Here's an odd fact most people don't think about. Your mouth can be a clue to your erections. Gum disease and poor oral health are linked to erectile dysfunction because bacteria in the mouth can travel through the bloodstream and damage blood vessels. Who knew that flossing could play a role in your performance? And yet, despite all these factors, the conversation is often reduced to just take a pill. But you're smarter than that. You can see that Ed after 50 isn't just one problem, it's the result of several systems working less efficiently. Which also means the solution can't be one-dimensional. That's why natural approaches like herbal teas, which target circulation, stress, and hormones all at once, make so much sense. The real question becomes, how do you start rebuilding, not just covering up? And that's where the power of herbs, rooted in centuries of healing traditions, comes into the picture. Now imagine holding a steaming cup of tea, rich and earthy, with a subtle sweetness that warms your chest as it goes down. That cup could be ginseng tea, the first of the 3 powerful herbal allies known to help men over 50 fight erectile dysfunction naturally. Ginseng has been called the energy root for centuries, and not without reason. Its twisted, almost human-shaped roots gave it the nickname the man root, and across Asia, it's been treasured as a tonic for strength, stamina, and vitality. Modern science is catching up to this old wisdom. Studies show that ginseng can improve nitric oxide production in your body. Why does that matter? Because nitric oxide is like the body's natural signal flare, telling blood vessels to relax and open wider. The more nitric oxide you have, the easier it is for blood to flow into those crucial chambers below the belt. Unlike the blue pill that forces this process suddenly, ginseng helps your body relearn how to do it naturally. And it doesn't stop there. Ginseng has been linked to boosting testosterone levels, reducing fatigue, and even improving mood. If you've noticed feeling drained by mid-afternoon, ginseng can feel like plugging yourself into a quiet but steady power source. It doesn't jolt you like caffeine, it gently restores. Picture swapping out your 3rd cup of coffee for a mug of ginseng tea, and realizing you're more alert, more balanced, and more ready to enjoy intimacy later in the evening. Here's an odd little fact. In Korea, ginseng is sometimes given to grooms on their wedding night as a symbolic insurance policy for stamina. It's a tradition that mixes humor with respect for the root's legendary reputation. And let's be honest, if cultures have trusted this herb for centuries to support manhood, maybe there's something real behind the legend. Of course, not every researcher agrees. Some point out that, while ginseng shows promise, results vary depending on the quality of the root and how it's prepared. This is where the debate about natural medicine versus pharmaceuticals comes in. Is it better to trust what grows in the soil even if it's less standardized, or stick with a lab-made pill that delivers a predictable but temporary effect? That's for you to decide. But when you sip ginseng tea, you're choosing to work with your body instead of against it. So as you taste that earthy warmth, you're not just drinking tea, you're investing in circulation, hormones, and a spark that feels truly yours. And that's a foundation no pill can fake. Picture a mountain goat leaping from rock to rock, full of energy, refusing to slow down even on the steepest cliffs. That's the image behind the name of our next herbal ally, horny goatweed. Legend has it that Chinese shepherds centuries ago noticed their goats became unusually frisky after grazing on a certain wild plant. Curious, they tried it themselves, and a reputation was born that has lasted through generations. Today, horny goatweed tea is still whispered about as one of nature's cheekiest secrets for male vitality. So, what makes it so intriguing for men over 50? The key lies in a compound called icariine. This natural substance works much like the mechanism of the blue pill. It helps block an enzyme that restricts blood flow to the penis. In other words, it supports smoother circulation, allowing your body to achieve and maintain erections more naturally. Instead of a chemical hammer, it's like a gentle nudge in the right direction. But horny goatweed isn't just about physical mechanics. Some studies suggest it may also balance hormones, reduce fatigue, and even improve bone strength, a bonus as you age. That means when you drink this tea, you're not just addressing intimacy. You're caring for the broader systems that keep you feeling alive and active. Imagine sipping a cup at night, the flavor slightly bitter but grounding, and realizing you're supporting your manhood and your bones at the same time. Here's a quirky cultural detail. In some traditional Chinese medicine shops, horny goat weed is sold in bundles under the name Yin-Yang Huo, which translates roughly to balance of fire and passion. It's not just a supplement, it's a philosophy, reminding you that health isn't about one extreme but about harmony. Of course, debates rage on. Some doctors argue the evidence inconclusive, warning that too much horny goat weed could cause side effects like rapid heartbeat or nosebleeds. Others point to promising research and centuries of safe use as proof it deserves respect. The real takeaway, like any powerful plant, it needs to be used wisely. More isn't always better. Still, when compared to synthetic shortcuts, horny goat weed tea feels like a playful, natural ally. You're not forcing performance, you're inviting it, encouraging your body's natural systems to return to balance. And sometimes, balance is exactly what you need to feel like yourself again. Now let's turn to something you probably already know, but maybe never thought of as a man's secret weapon: green tea. At first glance, it seems almost too ordinary. After all, it's on every supermarket shelf, right? But don't be fooled. Beneath that light, grassy flavor is a powerhouse of antioxidants that can quietly transform your health, and yes, your erections too. Here's the science. Green tea is packed with catechins, plant compounds that improve blood vessel function and reduce oxidative stress. Think of oxidative stress as rust slowly eating away at your pipes. Catechins act like an internal rust remover, keeping your arteries clean and flexible. The result? Better circulation where you need it most. Stronger erections start with stronger blood flow, and green tea supports that from the inside out. It doesn't stop at circulation. Green tea also boosts metabolism and helps burn stubborn belly fat, the kind that likes to creep around your waist after 50. Why does that matter? Because excess belly fat lowers testosterone while increasing estrogen. In other words, the more belly you carry, the harder it is to feel like yourself in the bedroom. Imagine sipping a daily cup and gradually seeing not just a slimmer waistline, but a stronger drive returning. And here's a fun modern joke. Coffee may make you feel like Superman in the morning, but too much leaves you jittery and crashing by noon. Green tea, on the other hand, is like Clark Kent. It looks mild, but it hides a steady energy that lasts all day. No jitters, no crash, just smooth fuel. An unusual detail worth noting: in some Japanese tea ceremonies, drinking green tea isn't just about taste, it's a ritual of mindfulness, a way to slow down and honor your body. Imagine combining that tradition with your personal mission to restore your manhood. A cup of green tea becomes more than a drink, it becomes a daily promise to yourself. Now, some skeptics will say, can a simple cup of tea really make a difference against erectile dysfunction? The debate continues, but research on green tea's cardiovascular and hormonal benefits grows every year. Even if you remain cautious, you can't deny the logic. Healthier blood flow, less fat, and lower stress hormones add up to a body that's ready when you are. So the next time you reach for a drink, remember every cup of green tea is like tuning your engine, making sure it's running clean, strong, and ready for the road ahead. At this point, you might be wondering, how do you actually bring these teas into your life in a way that works? After all, it's one thing to hear about ginseng, horny goat weed, and green tea, and another thing entirely to know when, how, and how much to drink. The good news: brewing them is as simple as boiling water, but making them a part of your daily rhythm where the real magic happens. Start with ginseng. The root can be brewed as slices, powder, or pre-packaged tea bags. For most men, 1 cup in the morning is enough, because it gives a natural lift in energy without the crash of coffee. The taste is earthy, slightly sweet, almost like sipping the forest itself. You may find it strange at first, but over time, it becomes grounding like an old friend who wakes you up gently. Horny goatweed works best later in the day. Some men prefer an afternoon or evening cup because it has a calming, slightly bitter flavor that pairs well with winding down. Steep the dried leaves for 5 to 10 minutes, letting the aroma fill the room. If you close your eyes, you might even picture those mountain goats, playful and tireless, reminding you of what you're aiming to reclaim. But here's a caution. Moderation is key. 1 cup per day is plenty. More doesn't equal better. This is nature, not a race. Green tea is the most versatile of the three. You can enjoy it hot or cold, morning or afternoon, even 2 to 3 times daily if you like. The grassy, slightly astringent taste has a way of refreshing your mind, almost like clearing the mental fog you didn't know you had. And yes, it pairs perfectly with a mindful break, putting the phone down, staring out the window, and simply breathing while your body absorbs the antioxidants. A quirky tip: try combining them. For example, start your morning with ginseng, have green tea after lunch, and sip horny goatweed in the evening. That rhythm mirrors the body's natural cycle: energy in the morning, fat burning and focus midday, and relaxation at night. And by spreading them out, you're gently supporting your circulation, hormones, and stamina across the whole day. The act of brewing itself can become therapeutic. The sound of water boiling, the aroma rising as leaves steep, the warmth of the cup in your hands, these are sensory cues that tell your brain, this is your time. Instead of popping a pill in secret, you're creating a ritual that feels proud, intentional, and deeply yours. Over time, those small daily choices build momentum. You're not forcing your body. You're teaching it to come alive again naturally, sip by sip. By now, you can see that these teas are more than drinks. They retools to help you build a new way of living. But here's the real secret. It's not just about what's in the cup. It's about the ritual you create around it. A ritual that becomes a reminder every day that you're choosing health, strength, and confidence over shortcuts and dependency. Picture this. You wake up, the morning light filters through the curtains, and instead of rushing straight to coffee, you brew a cup of ginseng tea. You sit quietly, letting the earthy aroma rise, and with each sip, you're not just fueling your body, you're telling yourself, today, I start strong. Later, after lunch, a cup of green tea clears the fog, giving you the energy and focus to keep moving. Then in the evening, when the world slows down, you close the day with horny goatweed tea, warm and grounding, a signal to your body that it's time to relax and prepare for intimacy. The key is consistency. 1 cup today won't change your life, but 1 cup every day for weeks, months, even years, that's when transformation happens. Herbal remedies work gently, building up effects over time, like strengthening the roots of a tree. And unlike the blue pill, which offers a few hours of performance, these teas are about restoring the foundation of your manhood permanently. Here's the funny thing. Men often underestimate the power of small rituals. You might think it's just tea, but research shows that daily habits, no matter how small, reshape your brain and body far more than big, dramatic actions. Even something as ordinary as boiling water becomes extraordinary when you connect it with your health and confidence. Of course, the debate will always continue. Some experts argue that only pharmaceuticals can provide real results, while others insist natural methods hold untapped potential. The truth likely lies in a balance. You don't have to reject medicine outright, but you also don't need to give up your natural options. What matters is that you feel empowered to make choices that keep you strong. So let your tea be more than hydration. Let it be a daily declaration. You're still capable, still powerful, and still in charge of your manhood. Because when you stack up enough days of honoring your body, confidence doesn't just return, it thrives. So, let's take a breath and gather everything together. You began this journey with the familiar image of the blue pill, a quick fix that so many men over 50 have reached for, often in silence, often with hope, and sometimes with disappointment. We explored why those pills are not the full story, their side effects, their risks, and the heavy reliance they create. From there, we looked deeper into why erectile dysfunction happens after 50, uncovering the natural shifts in blood flow, hormones, stress, and even oral health that slowly change the body over time. And then, instead of stopping at frustration, you discovered another path: 3 simple yet powerful teas. Ginseng, with its earthy strength, helping restore energy, and nitric oxide to open your blood vessels. Horny goatweed, the playful ancient secret, offering circulation support and hormonal balance. Green tea, the everyday drink hiding extraordinary antioxidant powers, trimming belly fat and improving heart health. Each tea unique, each tea connected by one truth: they don't force performance, they nurture it. But the real treasure isn't tea just in the teas it's in the ritual you build with them. Morning ginseng to start strong, afternoon green tea for clarity, evening horny goatweed to relax and restore. Day after day, these simple acts weave into a rhythm, reminding you that confidence doesn't come from a box of pills, but from the choices you make and the care you give yourself. Now, let the words slow down. Feel the warmth of the cup in your hand, the steam rising softly, the sense that you are not rushing but choosing. This is how you reclaim strength, not in one dramatic leap, but in a steady return to yourself. You're not broken, you're simply tuning your body again, like an instrument rediscovering its perfect sound. Remember, your health and manhood are always worth maintaining, cherishing, and caring for, no matter what age you are. If you can only do one thing today, let it be choosing to take care of yourself and move forward with confidence and clear goals. Thank you for joining us, and I'll see you in the next video.